with the request of my sisters, I am doing a series this time called I Am Saved, Not Soft. So that is something we've kind of been talking about for the past couple weeks or so. They requested me to do this series, so I am going to fulfill their request. So this is video number 1, and it is entitled, How Loud Are You? Right? So I asked that question because in the Bible, it was talking about how Paul was in prison and he began to sing praises to God, right? And as he was singing, the other prisoners heard him singing. And that struck a question. How loud are you singing? Are you singing loud enough to be heard? And I don't mean physically and literally singing, because I, for sure, am not a singer at all. I'm a writer. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm a mentor. I'm working on being a life coach. These are all things that I'm working towards. So the question I would have to ask myself, am I being loud enough or available enough or speaking enough to be heard to help other people? If you're a baker, is your cooking and your baking able to help people capture the moments and create memories amongst family, friends, things of that sort? If you're an entrepreneur and you are a handyman or whatever your profession is, are you doing that loud enough to be impactful to other people? That's the question. Are you loud enough? And I don't mean in a cocky way, and I don't mean in a boastful way. I don't mean that, well, I'm better than this person, so you need to come to me because look at the stuff that he's done. Despise not small beginnings, for one, and for two, they sung to God because they knew he was the only person that was going to be able to get them out of the situation they were in. But they did it loudly because that's something that they were good at doing. So I am good at speaking and motivating others and shining the light on different situations for them. So my job is to make sure you know you can get through whatever situation you are in because God has already written it out for you. That's it. That's something that you need to know and believe because I believe it for you. You may not believe it right now because you're hurt, you're in pain, you're confused, you don't want to deal with it, you don't want to address it. Whatever your situation is, I believe you will come out on the victorious end. And that's a conversation for another day, but I can believe for you and you can borrow some of my belief until you can get your own back. But I'm giving you some of my belief so you can borrow it and get out of that situation you're in, get out of that rut and keep it moving. So my question to you again is, how loud are you? And are you loud for the right reasons? That's a conversation for another day also. But I need you to be loud in what you are great at. That's another thing that my spiritual advisor was telling me the other day. People tried so hard to be perfect, but in lieu of that, they lose sight of the fact that they know that they're not, but they get so stuck on the imperfections that they try to be perfect. You're not perfect. That's fine. But be loud in what you're great in. So if you are a baker, be loud in that. If you are someone who is good at organization and logistics, be loud in that. If you are good at being the mother figure for your friend group and you are able to keep everybody on track and keep everybody looking at the big picture, be loud in that. So whatever you are loud in and great in, and you know what your greatness is, you know what your shortcomings are, and you know what you stand out in. You know there are things that nobody can beat you at. You know it. So be loud in that. That's something you need to stand 10 toes down and do it. That's what you got to do. Be loud in those things. Be right in those things. Be confident in those things because these are gifts that were given to you. That's something that nobody can take away from you. That's something that nobody can duplicate. Yeah, there may be 1,000 different painters, but no one is painting the picture that you're painting. There may be 1,000 different cleaning services, but nobody has taken the time to sanitize the entire house instead of just the kitchen countertop. You do the entire house because that's the important part because they spend more time in the entire house more than they do the kitchen. You pay attention to the details. That's the main thing. No matter if the situation or thing that you're doing is already being done, nobody can do it like you. That's the truth. And you have to believe that. And if you don't believe that, you can borrow some of mine until you get your own. And then I'm going to need my belief back. So just keep that in mind. So how loud are you is the question. And your question should be loud enough. Your answer should be loud enough. So continue to be loud. This is Durell with your motivation in the moment. Y'all take care, and as always, act in love. Do the right thing that needs to be done. That's my time. I'll see you in a minute.